So why get a degree in early childhood education? Well, as I've sort of suggested, there are quite good career prospects and future professional development. It's a field where people can exercise their creativity in intellectual and entrepreneurial ways. So you may start out as an early childhood teacher. That can take you in all kinds of directions. As I suggested, some of our graduates go on to advanced degrees. Some people go on to work in ministries. Some people go on to work in NGOs and foundations. People become consultants doing things like curriculum development, trainers. So there are a myriad of ways in which you can develop this as a profession. And here in Singapore, it really is a growth field with quite serious resources being dedicated to it. I do think that degree holders will be especially valued in the labor market in the future, so this is something to think about. And for those of you who are coming through the polys to a program with SIT, you have the advantage of having advanced standing, and so you finish in 2 years. It is a 2-year full-time program. It's also an overseas degree, so you both get a degree from SIT, but you also get an American degree. It's from Wheelock, and that has advantages of having that degree without having the sort of costly process of relocating to another country. But of course, as I'll say in a second, part of the program is spent in another country, getting to come to Boston. So we have an interesting teaching model. As you're sort of looking around at all the different overseas partners, one of the things that you'll probably notice is that all of us have our faculty come in. Some have full-time faculty, some have faculty who come in and teach intensively for a week. Our model is one where about half the semester is our faculty coming from abroad who co-teach with local faculty who then do an extension part of the course after our faculty leave. But what's very nice about it is that you have this international faculty and the local faculty who know a lot about the situation in Singapore, so that you get both a global and a Singaporean perspective. So while it's a foreign degree, it's not all about, all the examples and things like that aren't from the US. It's very locally focused with this broader international focus. So as I said, it is a rigorous curriculum, two full-time years of study. Our semester starts sort of at the end of June, very early July, runs through October, and then January to mid-April. Plus, there's the immersion in Boston. We focus on early childhood leadership, policy, management. We focus on science education. We focus on special ed and an inclusive curriculum. And our faculty are, I think, really the sort of what sells our program, how dedicated they are. They're professionals and experts in their field, but they're also people who are very, very interested in teaching and imparting the knowledge that they have. We also have quite a strong focus on writing. And this is something that we're developing. We've just instituted the Wheelock College Singapore Writing Center, where we have trained consultants who offer advice on writing. So people having sort of issues with the papers in their classes can come. But also, we're starting writers' workshops because we want people to love writing. One of our courses on literature, on children's literature, has people writing children's books. We will begin to publish people's work online, and that way sort of also help add to people's portfolios. So it's not just whatever your coursework asks you to do, but things for which you get some public recognition. It's a five-week summer immersion program. You take 3 courses on the Boston campus. We set up visits, as all of the overseas universities do when you go to the home campuses. You're not just taking classes, but you're really getting to see both how the profession, whatever the profession is, works in that country, but also seeing how people live in whatever city it is. And Boston is a great city to visit that way. It's on the east coast of the US. It is one of the most culturally dynamic cities in the US, so people have, besides having a great time intellectually and with their studies, they also have a great time personally. So what do we expect? Again, thinking about this idea that our faculty are very focused on the students as individuals. Yes, of course we look for highly qualified candidates academically, but we also take into account this whole person perspective. One of the things that really characterizes a Wheelock graduate is someone who is interested in making a difference in the world. So we were looking for people who are change agents, who really see themselves that way as having this mission to make a difference.